what's up you guys? So as I promised, I am back with another video. I got the candles lit. We out here, we doing this whole YouTube thing. We're staying strong. I'm gonna try, okay? So I went to Walmart and I went to Walmart for some candles because my dogs decided to crap everywhere. So it was really sweet of them. It was really fun. I came home, they had a whole poo-poo party. It was a fun time. They had a blast. But I went to Walmart to go get some candles, and I can never stay away from the beauty section. I am having a little bit of breakouts. Sad day. I was picking out my face. I have a problem. I already let y'all know that in the last one. If you haven't seen the last one, girl, go watch the last one. Anywho, I picked up some products from a brand that I've really been wanting to explore, and that brand is PROFUSION. They actually came out with a foundation. It looks like this. It's called the Feel Good Skin Long Wear Skin Protector with hyaluronic acid, medium to full coverage, and a natural satin finish. It also has SPF 15. It's cruelty free and vegan. So this is so cute. Look at the packaging. It's so cute. It was about $7. It was $6 and some change. And I also picked up some palettes. The palettes were $4 and some change, so about $5 each. I got this highlighter and contour palette. I got this blush palette. It's the Blush 3 palette. I really liked these colors. And then I also got their fuchsia eyeshadow palette. So we're just going to play with this makeup. I already primed my face. I'm super excited, so let's just get started. Okay, so I haven't opened this or anything. So hopefully it's the right shade. I got the lightest one because I'm super duper pale. I did actually fake tan. You can see it more on my leg. I do always apply my foundation with a brush. That is just something that I've picked up, and I'm not letting it go. So I'm not even going to try to apply it with a sponge because I know that in the morning I'm not going to wake up and wet a sponge. That's just not realistic for me. So I'm just going to squeeze some onto the back of my hand. It's kind of thicker. It's not super liquidy. It's not super thick. It's not like Tarte Amazonian clay or anything, but it's a little thicker. And since I'm using all powder products today, or mostly powder products today, I am going to do foundation first, which I usually do contour and all of that first, but let me put some more because that looks pretty awful. And if it continues to look terrible, I might wipe it off and then use it with no primer, because I do understand that not all foundations work well with all primers. So if it continues to look like dirt, we'll go ahead and try it with no primer at all. Okay. And then I'll probably go in with my fingers because it's super streaky, and these brushes, this brush never looks streaky. So you know what, it actually might be more of a sponge foundation, but if it is more of a sponge foundation, it's not the foundation for me because I don't use sponges. It smells really good. This scent that they put in here is fabulous. It's not really doing the best job at covering anything, which is fine. That's fine. I don't mind blending things in with my finger. It's just doing a whole face with my finger would probably be a little bit time consuming. So here's the skin. You know, it doesn't look as bad now that it's all blended out and the streaks are tapped out. I look scary right now. I look so sick. So I'm gonna go ahead and conceal now that I look like an actual zombie. Okay, so I powdered my face and did my concealer. I went ahead and used my e.l.f. and Becca mixture that I use. I'm gonna go into eyes. I'm gonna use the fuchsia palette. This palette right here. I can open it. So I'm gonna go into the shade Crush onto a Morphe M441. Oh wow, that is pretty. I love these colors. My boyfriend actually picked this palette out. He was at the store with me and he actually picked this palette out for me, so I'm really excited to use it. So now that I have my transition shade laid down, that blended absolutely beautifully. I'm gonna go into the shade Diva. So I just went into Crush, which is this one. Now I'm gonna go into that one. I know a lot of people like to lay down like their most intense shades first, but right now I'm in the mood to do a little building, to do a little blending, so that's what I'm gonna do. I bounce back and forth between techniques. Now I'm going into an M433, looks like that, and I'm gonna go into Proposal, which is this shade right there. Start on that building on the inner and outer corner. These are showing up much more pink. Like these really look super mauve, but then once they're on the lid, they look super pink. So with the same brush, I'm gonna go into Pageant, which is this hot pink. It kind of almost looks like a shimmer, but I think it's gonna apply like a matte. Yeah. So now I'm going to take one of the Anastasia brushes that you like get in one of the palettes. I know a lot of people don't like these brushes, but I love that. So now I'm going to take Slender, which is the purple, and I'm really going to deepen it up because I do want that to be... I'm not going to go super vampy with this look. I kind of just want the purple to give me just a little bit of depth. I'm going to go ahead and cut my lid real quick and I'll be right back. So I cut them. They don't look super even, but honestly, nobody is looking that close to my eyelid. And I think I'm actually going to put Smooch, which is this pink shimmer shade right here, on there. And then I'm going to top it off with Preppy, which is this shade right here. I'm gonna wet Preppy to see if I can get even more payoff from it. Wow, that is blinding. So my eyes are looking a little crazy, but once I do lashes and lower lash line, I think it's gonna look a lot better, and then I'll come back and we're gonna start with the face palettes. Okay, so I put on my lashes. You guys know that I don't like put my false lashes, like I don't glue them to the top, so it took me a while. So this foundation has been sitting for quite a while. It looks very much cake around my nose. I wish you guys could see. It's kind of like clinging on to the little hairs that I have on my face and caking in those areas. So I think I might have been, these were what I was more excited about other than the foundation. I love trying foundations. You guys know that's been my favorite thing to try out. It will probably always be my favorite thing to try out, but these right here have to be a very close second. My face looks really pale right now and really like a corpse. I look very casket ready right now, so I'm super excited to get some color back in here. So I'm going to take my fluffier brush and go into the lighter shade called Light Sculpt. Blending this in to the perimeters of my face. I'm not a big contour, so I'm kind of bronzing with these because they don't look super cool toned, so I don't even know how to contour, you guys. Like, it's not something that I do. It's not something that I feel like I need or want to do. Now this brush here is my favorite brush for bronzer. It is supposed to be a blush brush, but I just think it works best. Oh, look at that. Look. Like, that is so much. Okay. Okay, we're just going in. We're going in. We're coming in hot. We're coming in really hot. Okay, that was a lot. That was a whole lot. Came in hot. We're blending it out. This will be a good test to see if it's blendable. Because Lord knows that I don't need that. Okay, so that was that. You know what? You know what? I'm not mad. It is a little bit concentrated right here. Like, I'm not super, I don't know. I don't think I like this color on me. So now I'm going into the blush palette, the Blush 3 palette. I should have honestly used that shade as a bronzer, but it's fine. I'm going to take this brush right here and go ahead and dip into Bliss, which is this shade right here. Oh, see, that's way more pigmented than I thought it was gonna be. Wow. Well, Profusion coming in with the pigment. Back to the foundation brush, cause I should have I should have known. If only the eyeshadows were this pigmented, honestly. Now we're gonna highlight. I'm gonna take a mixture of Heartfelt and, I'm just gonna mix all three of the highlighters in the highlight and contour palette. I'm gonna take like this flatter brush. I usually don't apply highlighter, especially a powder highlight. That's not something that I'm super into, because I know I've learned my lesson. Profusion, I think I just tapped all of it off. Oh no, it's there. See, I learned that Profusion don't play with the pigment in their face products. They only play with the pigment in their eyeshadow. This is the kind of highlight that really will accentuate any texture that you have on your skin. And I have very textured skin. Let me get up and close. So you can kind of see how it's accentuating my pores. It's not something that I am super into. Like, I might use these as like an eyeshadow. I'm actually going to use them in my inner corner. But aside from that, I don't think I'll be reaching for these, at least as highlighters anymore. Oh, but as inner corner. Yes, ma'am. So this is what I'm looking like right now. I'm actually really liking the way that I look. I desperately need some setting spray at the moment. So I'm actually going to throw some Urban Decay All Nighter on. I'm going to throw on a lip, and I'll be right back to give you guys my final thoughts. Okay, you guys, so here's the face. After using setting spray, the highlighter looks very nice, very glowy. I'm not the biggest fan of this foundation for a couple of reasons. First of all, I do my foundation with a brush. That's just how I do my foundation. I'm not going to wake up in the morning at 6 in the morning and go through the effort of going. I know that might sound so extremely lazy, but I'm not going to go into my bathroom, wet a sponge. When I go in there to brush my teeth, I'm not going to remember to grab a sponge. I'm just not going to remember that. So realistically, I'm going to do my makeup with a brush. That's just how it is. And it looked really, really bad. Like, as I was applying it, it looked so streaky. And I don't always have the best lighting at 6 in the morning. The sun isn't even up yet. So I'm doing my makeup halfway in the dark. And I don't think that that's the most realistic foundation for me to use. So with my e.l.f. foundation, I literally whack it on. And it looks great. Same with my Wet n Wild, both the matte photo focus and the dewy photo focus. They are great. Some of my faves. And I think that those perform much better than this. And I'm pretty sure that the e.l.f. one is around the same price point as well as the Wet n Wild one. Those two are both very, very affordable foundations. I actually think the Wet n Wild one might actually be cheaper, and you get more coverage and a smoother finish than this one. I do think that it does give a natural finish, but along with that, it is very transfer-y. Like, if I bumped my face and the foundation moved. And in these times we're wearing masks. I can't imagine if I were to wear this with a mask on and then go out. I would take off my mask and my whole face would just be on my mask. When it comes to the eyeshadow, I do think that they could have brung it, like really, really brung it with the pigment. But they blended all right. There was a little bit of patching in my crease, but it seemed to go away. The more elbow grease that I put into it, the better that it looked. So I ended up getting a pretty good eye look. I like the way that my eyes look at the moment, especially after I put on lashes. Lashes bring everything together. See, when it came to the contour palette, I really liked it. It blended great. You saw I went totally overboard and it blended out just fine. I did not like the shade, like the darker shade, but I think it's just because I'm accustomed to a more warm tone shade, so it makes sense that I wouldn't be the biggest fan of a more cool tone shade. And then when it came to the blush palette, absolutely love, 10 out of 10 recommend. Yes, get it. It's great. It's super pigmented, gonna last you a long time. There wasn't a super lot of kickback in the pan, unlike the contour palette, which had a ton of kickback in the pan. Like as soon as I dipped my brush in, it was powder frickin' central. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Go in with a really light hand if you're using that palette. Oh, and the highlighter, it's okay. Overall, I really enjoyed this experience and I had fun testing out this brand. It didn't cost me a whole lot. And I got a ton of different shades and a ton of different powders to use and to play with some more. I think this is going to be a great addition to my collection. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!